Hey, it's MK, and I am here with my fifth layout, maybe, for Kit Conspiracy, and I'm also playing along with Stretch the Sketch. This is the sketch that I will be actually shrinking instead of stretching, so I'm going to turn it into a 6 by 12. I also have this packaging here that I'm going to try to incorporate from the October Afternoon Tidbits package. I have a ton of little scraps and things that I would like to use on this layout. One of my favorite things about this sketch is that there's not a lot of paper layering. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be perfect to start busting out some of these scraps that I've had. And so here is my little pocket page that I will be doing-ish. It's a flip flap by Close to My Heart. And I'm going to do both sides. So the one side is going to be where I'm going to use the sketch. And then the other side is just where I'm going to kind of bring that design-ish over to the other side, but not as the sketch, right? More like a companion page. And I'm going to take this awesome book page and I'm going to cut it in half and glue them back to back. So that way you flip the page just like you're reading a book, except that it's going to be on the wrong side of my album, but that's okay. I did have to take a few minutes to actually read the story, and I thought it was kind of interesting because it's about a Captain Jimbo, and I don't know if this is The Pirate's Life by, who is it again? I don't really know. Lewis Stevenson, I think is what it says. I could be wrong. Sir Thomas something or another. I don't know. Stop moving the layout so I could see it. Anyways, I don't know if this is a true story or not, or if it's just a short story, or if it is just made up for this particular collection. But I thought it was kind of cool because the boat in the story is called La Revanche, and the boat in our museum was called The Revenge. And so I was fascinated by that. And I thought that I looked it up, that it was a French boat that was captured by pirates, according to the little plaque that's on the ship in the museum. And then this here was a French boat that was captured by Captain Jimbo. And so it was quite interesting. The little story on the page talks about, how they attacked and what they were, why they attacked this particular boat. And apparently it is almost like Fort Knox, where it was, whoever's boat it was full of, the pirate coins. What are they called? 8 pieces of 8, and it was basically just like a bank on water, is what it was, and the pirates knew that, and so that's why they were after this particular ship, and they didn't give any quarter, is what it's called. So basically they had no intention of letting anybody survive. And so once they took over the ship and it was actually sailing at sea, because most of the crew was on at port, enjoying their time off, and so the pirates chose to attack it during that specific point in the ship's mooring, is what it's called, because it actually can't, it's so big it couldn't come into port, and so it was moored, and the pirates waited until most of the crew was offshore and attacked the people that were there, because most of the people that were there were actually intoxicated. So it made them very, very easy to commandeer the boat, and then they got it sailing again. And then once they were out at sea is when they made the decision of, how do you want to die, basically. According to the I'm just reading the story, you guys. I promise these aren't my words. Well, actually, no. These are my words because I'm summing up the story. But I wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to read the words or if they were going to be illegible and it just looked like, words in a book. And whatnot. And so I thought it was kind of neat how the creator of this paper actually made it to where you could read that story if you really wanted to. And so I did. I took a few minutes to read it, and I actually read it out loud, so now I have a recording of it. But it is in a weird cursive, and so some of the words I couldn't make out. And some of the words I didn't know because it's almost like Old English. And so it's words we do not use today for sure. And so I was having a little hard time trying to read out and make out what some of the words were or what they even meant. But I still really enjoyed the story, but I also really enjoyed the fact that it's almost like it's the same story as what our museum was trying to portray as well. And so they just didn't go talk about a Captain Jimbo. They didn't talk about anything else, but the name of the boat and the fact that it was also captured by pirates was also very interesting to me. Because they just matched, right? All right, so these are the pieces of the ship. So this is basically where the storage room, it's the storage area of the ship. And then, of course, the other side is basically going to be about, I want to say life at sea and what happens if, you are no longer trusted or become a traitor. And things like that, being able to survive at sea, things like that. And so I thought it would, since it's dark and depressing, I thought that it would be great to have it on the inside of a flip-flop instead of just out in the open and here you go. Pirates' lives are not that great, to be honest, but in a way they still, they're still around. So they still must be doing something right, because they're still present and accounted for. But yeah, I don't know if they're still, I'm almost curious if today's pirates are as cutthroat, not cutthroat as in no quarter, but, if their life is as hard, do they spend, months out at sea waiting for that next catch, or do they, are they more closer to land and dock a lot more often than they did back in the day? I'm almost wondering if back in the day they didn't realize there was so much land around them because of the fact that, I don't think that the Americas was, they were. Now that I'm thinking about it, because the 18th and 17th centuries, so yeah, the Americas were still there. Or they were discovered by then. But to me, it just makes it seem like, being that long out at sea in a way was unnecessary. But then again, that's where you found your boats, right? You can't get them. If you attacked them too close to land, that makes more sense to me, because then you'd have a lot more help coming your way. And the pirates getting into big trouble, right? Okay, now I'm just talking. All right, so I've went ahead and figured out how I was going to place my photos. I wanted to incorporate some of the pictures that were in my storybook per se, but I wasn't really big on needing the story. And I really liked the back end of this ship in the picture with the pirate flag and everything. And so I wanted to try to keep that as an embellishment portion of my layout. So I went ahead and figured out the best way to configure the pictures as I can. So I went ahead and, just added it there. And then, of course, it says, I think it says, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you what that little placard says at the moment, but I do know that this is the storage area and where they keep their goods and whatnot. I don't know. It didn't say a whole lot, and it doesn't say a whole lot in the history books about the live animals. Like in this picture, there's a sheep. Well, actually, I think it's a goat. So I'm not really sure if they had fresh goat's milk or if they were transporting it, for something else. Do they plan on butchering it and having it for, a meal? I do not know, because it doesn't say anything about the pirates having, fresh meat or fresh milk on board. So yeah, I'm just kind of curious about the goat. in the storeroom. So it just makes me kind of go, I'm just wondering if it served a purpose, because if they had a goat, then did they have chickens, I mean, like, would they have had a whole farm-ish on, at the belly of their boat? If it was possible, because that would make sense, having fresh eggs and milk and things like that, as they go along for months at a time. So anyways, I am going to go ahead and string up my my banner pieces. I have some that are popped up on foam and some that are glued directly on the page. Those that are glued directly on the page, I am gluing my string straight on top of them, and then those that are popped up on foam, I'm actually wrapping my string around them to make it look like they are hanging up by the string as well. But I ran out of string, so I had to cut a little bit more. Go me. And so, yes, but luckily where I ran out, it was perfect, and you can't even tell that I accidentally ran out of string. So I'm super stoked about that. But that's pretty much it. I've got pictures above my banner, pictures below, or a picture below my banner, and I'm super stoked with how it turned out. I love seeing the words behind my pictures as well. My pictures and my embellishments. And I like how the story just fades into the back, kind of like, pirate tales. Everything that you read about pirates, it's weird because it's not well documented. It's basically just what people have gathered from the tales of, survivors mostly. And it's all just been put together piece by piece, because there's not a whole lot wrote up on pirates. And you'll definitely read about that when it comes to the flags. I was trying my hardest to get information about pirate flags, because each pirate flag is based on the captain. It started out as this, and then it started into that, and then they started getting creative because they wanted to be their own people, things like that. But right off the bat, they tell you that there is not a whole lot, except for the stories from survivors, and you just don't know how true they are because they're so scared, which makes a lot of sense. And it makes a lot of sense. And the reason I say that is just because of the fact that, the pirates don't care. They're just out there to get, their next meal and their next, their next go around. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and trim up all of my photo mats that I have going on here. So that way I can, get everything matted. I really feel like they pop off the page a little bit more, especially with the words behind them being matted. And then I also distressed all of my edges. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this particular design. I'm going to carry over the design that I used on the other side, just by layering up all these little pieces. I'm not trying to make them look like banner pieces. I use that more for in the decoration part of it. But here I just like it to look more like little shelves than anything else. And again, just using up my scraps. I love being able to just use up my scraps, and they help me cover up things that I didn't really want, to be seen. Like this one here, this had a goofy looking captain pirate guy. And he just wasn't as appealing as my abandoned moored guy. I think it says marooned. Sorry, that just reminds me of Daffy Duck when he always calls everybody a maroon instead of the bad words. It makes me giggle, you guys. The simple things, I absolutely love it. All right, so yes, this is, just tiny little things of what it's like at sea. Death at sea is one of the things. Then it says that being sick at sea, confined at sea, and then of course being a traitor at sea. And it gets you marooned and stuck, and they just leave you and hope that you find your way back, or or you end up on this tiny little island that hasn't been discovered yet, which I'm not sure if there's that many left, which I think would be super cool if I found my own little tiny island. I think it would be great. But I'm not out there every day, so somebody would probably find it before me. But yeah, I just think that this would be awesome. So here I'm just repeating the little banners, but because I don't hardly have any up and down banners left, I'm going to go side to side. I have a lot of word banners, the one that says discover and I, and then I think the other one says pirate fun again. But I don't think that the blue would look good on this particular side. So I'm going to go ahead and create a couple little banners on the left, as well as a few little banners on the right, just to cover up the gap between the two photos. And I find the perfect piece to bring in with with my banners down on the right side. So I'm super stoked about those as well. It was just a happenstance, but here it is. It's just this little guy with the shark swimming around him, and it looks like he was abandoned by his crewmates. He's not marooned, but it just looks like he got abandoned, and so it works out really, really well to go with the story, and I really like that. So plus the paper that this boat and sharks are on is one of my favorites. I'm going to try to figure out how to use that paper as well. So stay tuned for that. I do end up figuring out how to add that into my layouts or into my, into my layouts and whatnot. So, all right. So here is my last little bit, just trying to get everything to look cohesive. And I love it. I love how it all came together. And like I said, having all the little words and the story working really well together. I don't think I'm going to add any dimensional elements to this, just so that way it fits in my 6x12 page just right. Actually, I have to cut a little bit off. It's a little taller than 6x12. So before I put it in my page, I had to cut and trim just a hair off. But you'll see it in the end. Stay tuned for the end of the month. I do show you guys a little bit of what I do on the 29th. I come back for more pirates. All right. Again, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to check out Janet Fritz's channel. She is Galaxy Girl Creations here on YouTube. Not only is she playing along with Kit Conspiracy with me, but she's also the brainchild behind Stretch the Sketch and all these awesome little ideas of either shrinking the sketch or creating a double page layout using this sketch. It is so super fun to do. I really enjoy looking at my sketches in a whole different way. So don't forget to check out her channel and everyone else that is playing along with Stretch the Sketch. All right, I will check you guys all later. And again, thank you so much. Bye.